This is known as a can of soda. We can break it down into a few main parts. This here, it moves a bit. That's called the tab. You'll see there's a little divot down here. I'm not sure if there's a name for that, but that is also another part. Now you'll see there's kind of a ridge on top of the major part of the can. This is called the ridge. It is the third part of the can. Inside of this divot I mentioned earlier, you can see a very small crack like that. There's a second crack inside of it, but that one doesn't matter. This first crack also doesn't have a name, but it will also be very important. That is the fourth part. Now you see here, all the way from the bottom of the colored part, aka the label. This colored part is commonly referred to as a label, so from the bottom of it, all the way to the right under the ridge here, that's the main part of the can. That is the biggest and the fifth part of the can. If we turn the can upside down, any part above the label, or any part with no color past this ridge here, is the bottom of the can. The bottom of the can is the sixth part of the can. So as you can see, we can break the can down into 6 parts. There's many different types of pop cans, though they all function the same way. You can all open them in the same way. This one is a mug root beer can. You can open it the same way as any other can, whether that's Coke, Pepsi, what's that other one called? You got Sprite, 7-Up, cream soda. They all open the exact same way, which is very convenient. So, what you have to do is you have to see this little tab part we talked about earlier. I believe this was the first part we talked about, the tab. It moves a little, remember? This tab, see this little cut here that we also talked about earlier in piece number 4. It's not named, but piece number 4. When you push the tab up like this, it works as a lever. A lever is a way to transfer force from one end to another end of an object focused on a fulcrum, which is a single point. So this would be the fulcrum of the lever. This lever puts a lot more force onto this part than your hand is putting onto this part back here, which helps open this without the use of a knife or just pushing it in, like some people have done. Speaking of, there are many alternate ways to open a pop can that are much less efficient. You could use a knife like this and cut a triangle. That's less efficient because it takes more time and you need a knife. You could cut through the side or the top like this, which I've seen some people do. That is also less efficient. You could also poke a hole in the bottom and drink it like this. That is also less efficient, but it could be a great party trick. And also, you can turn it upside down and cut a hole through here, which is also less efficient. So, now I will talk about the most efficient way to open a pop can. Like I said earlier, you grab the tab, you add even more force to the end of the lever, and push down here with whatever you're using for this. Push down, not up, down, the way my finger is currently pointing. If I was pushing up, I will start pushing up in 3, 2, 1. See the direction I go? That's up. Down, 3, 2, 1, that's down. So you want to push down. This is up. This right here is down. So with one finger, you want to be pushing down. I personally use my thumb. With your other finger, you want to be pushing. You want to have enough force to be able to get this open just a little bit so you can get some leverage. That makes it much easier. So after that, after you have your leverage, push down with your thumb on the smaller part of the lever and up with your finger on the larger part of the lever. See, just like that, with enough force, the air decompresses. I know that's a big word, but it decompresses, meaning there's a small hole, and this should, the whole top of the can here, I believe that is part number 3, or sorry, part number 2. It should just fall down. It should be, you should be able to push it now. It shouldn't be very, like, tight feeling, you know? It shouldn't feel hard anymore. It should feel a lot softer, and the whole can should feel a lot softer. If it does, that means you did that part right. Now you see, it's very important you don't lift your can and tilt it, because decompressing it means there's a hole somewhere in here. So if you tilt it after this stage, you could get some pop, which is the type of drink contained in this container, flowing out onto your table, which is bad. So, what you have to do after this, you have to do the same step as before. Grab it, push up with your finger, down with your thumb, even harder, even harder, and just like that, it opens. It does a nice fizz. Now you can push it back so that it's easier to drink out of. And this hole right here, you'll put your bottom lip on it, and you can just drink it from there. Alright, good luck. Have a great time drinking your pop cans.